Make sure something tonight ain't taking you away from this moment, man. Because that's all we got. That's what y'all don't realize most of the time. We don't get this again. We don't get this again. The clock runs too fast. That's why we got to savor these moments. Because they right now. I couldn't understand that when I was 24 and 25. Because there's too much pain outside of this that people really going through. This right here makes us strong. Let's understand who we are as a team. Let's understand who we are as men. And let's make somebody smile when we walk out of here. We got the opportunity to keep going, man. Let's be strong as a team, man.
Tomorrow wasn't promised. What would you give for today? Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Forget that there was any sunlight left. What would you spend today thinking about? Yourself or the man that's beside you? Or the man that you know you'll give everything in your heart for? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're going to do, to lay your foundation, to make whatever mark you're going to make, whatever legacy you're going to leave your legacy. And it's found through effort. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature now than I was 5 minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness.
Now, Arcturus, a lot of people, as you may know, have been abducted by other entities, whether interdimensional beings, other planetary beings, and they have hybrid children. Some people's views on the hybrid program are negative, and some people's views are positive. What are your views?
So what I think is what we have to put in perspective. Some people that have been abducted have had a negative experience, even though maybe the abduction was meant in a positive way. Because here's the deal: many of us agreed on the hybrid program, so the other races could understand the emotional body that anchored on Earth. Because Earth, right now in development, is an emotional planet. You know, it's the same clockwise. A lot of like Earth right now, if you give Earth a color, it would be orange if you want, as in the aura. And a lot of people are interested in that. Not all that. And you have to understand that a lot of the evil and negative ET entities might be government-controlled robots to get you spooked. So the ancestors can try to connect with you or try to spook up their own kind. That we are freaked out by the negative ETs. Higher evolved races, you know,
right,
are all developed to the point of peace. Because if any of the races that we are in contact with want to take over the planet, they can do that in a nanosecond. I've seen technology that's so mind-blowing, like if that was really important, you know, we would have been done or would have been wiped out. The problem is it's more earth-bound. That a lot of earth manipulation, whether it's in the government or shadow government or whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of manipulation to set you off, to make you think that when ancestors come and want to talk to you, that is a negative experience. And what we have to understand is we have to learn to own our thoughts, own our filters, and get the system back. And Dolores Cannon talks about it in her book, that we have a distorted image of what an ET is. Most of us are actually in human form. We need to understand that. Some of us are human and earth incarnates with star-seeded codes that need help to activate that.
Well, so I mean, I kind of feel that the government, what they're doing is that they just want total control and total mind control over people. Therefore, they don't want a positive outside influence to interact with humanity. That's why,
you know, look at all these Hollywood movies where the EP is the bad one. That's all propaganda to set you off that once physical contact takes place, you run for your life. Because you don't know you're talking to your ancestors and beings that are actually very loving and caring. Like I had contact with Masani that are half gray and half human, and they said, we're part of your family. For in the future, you have created us, and we came back to assist, and you shoot us down.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you get physical, and the military shoots us down.
Well, now Arcturus, doesn't abductions go against galactic free will? If you think about it, that you know.
Here comes the simple situation. And if you can keep your fear, nobody ever takes you against your will.
Right. Because a lot of people say, well, they're taking.
I picked up still in the fear mode and running the fear program. I had that too in the beginning when I didn't realize I got picked up. And I woke up on a ship. I totally freaked out. Nobody touched me. Nothing was done. All the probes and all that crazy stuff that everybody talks about. Right. And then I was given space and I calmed down and I assessed the situation. And then I realized how it was. I was like, okay, I'm not being abducted. I was taken because I agreed to it. And I realized that.
Well, that's
the need to develop that space that they can realize that. Of course, there have been abductions where actually what they do is they drug people. People come in costumes, and you think you have an EEG encounter when it's all human manipulation. Having you focus on the negative stuff that they do, because the encounters that I have, none of them are negative.
Well, see, that's the tricky thing is because. The tricky thing is that the government has their craft, so they can pretty much manipulate. It's really hard to know who's who because, you know.
It's tough because we need to learn to own our senses, and when we do that, we will understand who's who. It has to do with your field. Like, let's say if you in your backyard and you see black helicopters, there's as much as your consciousness is being hacked. And we have to find out where that virus or that implant is running, and once you develop the awareness to find that, and that stuff changes. They can't approach you when you have awareness. The negative one. They can only approach you where you're not conscious enough to defend yourself. That's the game they play. They're actually cowards.
Right.
Because if you're aware, and you stare them in the face and you ask them to reveal themselves, they actually run.
Right. And another thing I wanted to ask is that I believe that love is key, and
yes.
we can create any reality we want as long as we use our mind to think positive. But it kind of seems like we're being poisoned, air, food, water, and there's a lot going on in the world right now. You know, a lot of people, some people may think that maybe the hybrids are going to recycle humanity and take over.
Nah, that's all government propaganda.
So,
it's all about, like, see, I have like 28 children on ships, and why would they want to take over? Like, I'm their father, you know. And I was contacted, you know, they contacted me, you know, some names I remember, some names I don't remember. I was in shock when they contacted me, and they said, we are your children, and actually you're scared of us. You created us. We're here to assist and help evolve. And then we have these movies where you think, you know, some alien breed comes in and it's going to overtake. No. What we're doing is basically we are helping and assisting this planet to lead into this ascension process, which is an ongoing process.
Well, and I mean, this is a loving possible scenario, but who agreed to this assisting? I mean, did people sign up for this, or?
Yeah, basically, if you're in angelic form, you have to go way back. I mean, there's storylines that people don't even know, and a lot of these people, like, and even a lot of esoterics, that you don't study the nitty-gritty books where it talks about three angelic races.
Right.
People never heard of Aluhai, or Malachi, or Anuhazi, or Iluhai, or Seraphai, Seraphim, Nephilim. Like, it goes way, you gotta go, like, on Earth, you can go 5 million years. There be human beings on Earth. Cosmic beings, pre-angelic races, where we formed councils to agree to assist in the best way we can.
Okay. Right.
You know?
Right.
And people don't know.
That's the thing. I think that's been wiped through our history. We haven't. It has been taken away from us. A lot of the positive history about ET contact.
Plato that wrote about Atlantis said that the human race has forgotten who they are. They're like children in the cosmos in amnesia, you know, dead but alive. It's like we don't have total recall yet. We have to attain that. Total recall has to do with your cell memory of your lineage, your ancestral connection, your past lives, really knowing what are you here to learn, what is your sole purpose, and what did you agree on. And you know, and when you don't remember it, you have an ego, you know, and your ego is going to go like, yo, this is some bullshit, I didn't sign up for this shit, I don't remember that. And of course, ego comes in, and that is where the distorted programming of a conditioning of a slave race comes in.
Right.
We are conditioned. You have no idea how we conditioned we are, that we need to learn to use that. You know that I believe in my experience that every human being has an installation of a guard, which is a fear program that governs you like a babysitter. So if you lean too far out the window, the guard kicks in, you end up in the mental institution, you freak out, or you get paranoid. You know what that's called? That's called an inhibitor that how do you say, does not allow you to expand in consciousness. And in what series are they showing that? Watch the 4400, all 3 episodes.
Right. Now, Rob.
Dudes get abducted, they come back, and what does the military do? They don't want them to develop abilities to change the world.
Right.
So they put some inhibitors in the human bodies, then they will never develop their skills, or you call crazy. And that's what we're called it.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you aware of a lot of people who think that different races are here to save us, and because a lot of people say, oh well, you know, these are our ET family, which can be true. I mean, but I kind of disagree with them coming down to save us. I think that we should self-empower ourselves instead of.
That is a mission. We have 33 founder races, but I don't even know all by name, that are here to assist when we agree that they can come in, you know, and consciousness has not agreed for official contact yet. So they can scream a disclosure and blame it on the government. Do you think that the government will make disclosure happen? Hell no.
Right.
It's not going to take place. What will take place is like if one dude in his backyard gets that in his mind, that we have neighbors, and opens up and has contact and connects with the next neighbor and makes him see what he can see. That's called vibrational matching, and that's how that will come in. And it's up to us how fast we can develop that.
Well, should we look to our space brothers and sisters as saviors and help us, or should we say we welcome them with open arms, but we hold responsibility to help our planet ascend ourselves instead of them?
It is our responsibility to help ourselves to wake up and to help this planet ascend. When we reach a certain level, they come and work with us.
Right.
It's like, let's say, if 2 beings want to meet, both need to be, let's say, that just on a mundane level, be their financial independence, both need to have shops, both need to stand with both feet on the ground, and then they can meet. Same thing with our family, you know? Mm-hmm. They're not going to come and say, we're going to land in front of your house, we're going to give you supreme technology that you're not ready for, you don't have no spiritual maturity to handle what we deliver. You have to find that within yourself. Channel that out and show them that you have the ability to handle that in peace. Because you know how it is for them? And I don't know, but that's somebody. It's like that. They say like a lot of the human consciousness is like schizophrenics with Uzis. And you want us to land there. They want to kill us. They said that happened before. 20,000, 15,000 years ago, we tried to establish official contact and they wiped out crew. Ship lands, you know, botanical research takes place. They come, you know, with guns and knives and bats and beat the crap out of these bees and kill them. What do you think they did with the Nephilim? And I'm talking about the positive one. They eradicated all known evidence of people with elongated head.
Right. I've seen pictures of where they were.
It's a demon. So nobody knows Nefertiti was Nephilim.
Right.
Osiris was Nephilim. Akhenaton, that they all were ET races here working and assisting, not gods. That's all a misunderstanding and misconceptualizing. And then you throw a little bit of religion in there, and you have a split on Earth that you don't even want to know. Like, plus, you have no more telepathic links, so we can't really communicate. We need language, which is or can be a barrier. There's a lot of work that needs to be done before we come to a common denominator where everybody can see. Holy shit! I didn't even know that.
Right. Now, what do you? How do you feel? A lot of people say, don't harp on negative energy. Don't think too much on negative energy. I mean, with a lot of things that are going on in the world today, not only political, but just with our planet, it seems kind of hard to not want to make change or to not want to make positive change. I feel myself that we should make change, but in a peaceful, non-compliant way. What do you feel about that?
Okay, what I feel is that the magic is returning to ourselves. But nobody has really realized in 2013 Earth has been connected to the noosphere, which means we are reaching the infinite in source codes and source programming, meaning the possibilities to invent and bring new life and tech in here. That the system is infinite, and it's back, it's accessible. But for each and every one of us, we need to go within and to listen to what's being transmitted from the central sun, so we can wake up into these skills and we can do that. This is what I am doing. And the thing is, we got to get out of this looping of negative scenarios that we had in the past. That if you're an inventor, you get approached and the MIB will take you away. I know plenty of scientists and people and developers that are not being approached. And they don't develop anything harmful, and they don't go with anything crazy, and they're not threatening to shut down anything. Everything that we are thinking is transitional in a way that it can be understood, that this needs to be promoted, and that you will see the difference between a government shutdown and you will see what is a sustainable system and what system can't be maintained. And slowly but surely you see how these systems all fall apart. You know, people shouldn't get scared. People should step into the independence. You know, we have people that receive government checks, and then the government is shut down. The check is pending. What does that tell you? You're depending on the system that's supposedly to govern your mental. But we need to step into let's govern my mental. And I don't want to point my finger at a president that does anything for me. You know, then people say, Obama's going to attack Syria, and I'm not so political. And I said, you know what? I don't believe that. I don't will that into existence. And as long as the stuff hasn't happened, why would I conjure it up over and over and over again? So this doomsday prophecy, I want to step away from.
So we kind of if we
best to create the positive and not repeat the negative. But I can tell you how much killing takes place in Africa. But what does that do right now for me in Sedona? Nothing.
Right.
You have to really see reality right now. Where are you? What are you doing? Where you are? Like, are you sowing seeds? Are you creating plants? Are you creating a garden with people that help you? Or are you online bitching about all the things that's wrong? You use up the internet. You talk about the system and the failure, but you are doing nothing but complaining. That means you're producing a negative reality for your bubble, and that's your assignment then. Well, if you run into a system, guess what? You will have that in your surrounding environment.
Right. Now, some of us will graduate, some of us will fail, or what? I mean, depending on how we live our lives?
It's like, imagine Earth is like the Penn Station in New York, and everybody will go to the universe according to the frequency that they conjure up. And they need to develop the awareness that they're responsible for what they're calling in now.
So what happens if you fail? Does your reality stay on the third-dimensional planet, or what? What happens?
No, I guess if you fail, you get stuck in a three-dimensional job. You keep complaining, and you go back to sleep, and you go back into, you go back from 10th grade to 4th grade, and you do it over until you understand.
How many times have you done it over, Rob?
I can't remember. All I remember is that I agreed to come to planet from the future to help restore planet to ascend. So I believe many of us, I ascended before. I descended to play that game over. Like it's nothing new to me.
So you're from the future?
Yeah.
What future are you from?
Cool. See, my soul core is connected to Arcturus. And I see myself in the future. It could be, it's an estimate, it's rough. And, I say to the mundane mind or to the moguls, I sound completely whacked out. But when I have contact, I'm crystal clear. Like, I don't need to take any substance or anything. When I see this, I see myself on board of a ship in a suit. I look like myself. Mm-hmm. And I talk to myself. It's basically like my future version talks to the digressed past version. When we come, and many of us do, maybe you too, is we have to digress genetically in order to make it on a planet that is less developed, with fewer species coming from the future system.
Right.
And we have to understand that every human on Earth is from a different planetary system to run through this school. Some are Andromedans, some are Sirians, some are Vegans, some are Lyran. We are all mixed races from multiple galaxies. The natives know that, you know. And some of us have different job assignments. You know, some have to develop an Earth consciousness. I feel like I'm like a tech, I'm like a repair person to bring light technology and things into existence. And I know what I'm doing right now is I'm downloading my future version into my past version to understand what I have to do. And it's a bitch. It's really tough. You have people that really work against you and come with all these obstacles they throw in your way.
Right.
It's very hard to develop that. But I'm moving forward, you know, I'm making progress, you know.
Arcturus. Now, we're all on missions. We're all here to learn on our own path and our own speed. At our own speed. Are there negative beings, say like the reptilians, that are here, just as we're here to learn, and this is a school? Well, aren't they? Are there races here? But the question is, are the races here that are here to make sure that we don't do that we don't ascend?
Yeah, there are beings here that their agenda is to make sure that we stay in 3D because they need to feed off our emotional, discrepancy.
Can you talk a little bit about that? What could these negative parasite beings? Can you talk a little bit about them? Or?
Okay, so let's bring it to the body. Let's get out of the magical into the factual. Let's say in your bloodstream you have threadworm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a collective of a parasitic system that sits in your body. But what the parasite needs, it needs the host to maintain. But it needs the host to suffer, because when the host suffers, the host is acidic. When the host is acidic, the parasite thrives. That shortens the lifespan, and the parasite basically can run the host a little bit on the side. And now you gotta go into dimensions, as in lower dimensions, where there are parasitic beings that can't generate their own light. They need light beings because they either have forgotten or turned away from the source, or from God, if you will. And so they're like, you know how society works. I don't want to do the work, do it for me. Go to record labels, go to Hollywood. You know how parasitic that is. It's been adopted by the human race how these other dimensions work with us. That's why we're enslaved. They basically, let's keep the sheep on the herd, feed them, keep them at peace, feed them the things they need to feed, so we can keep them in control. So at time, we can feed on that energy. So there are, yes, I agree, beings that they don't like the possible idea that we are actually leaving that feeding ground that they needed. And that's why all of these companies that will build all these systems actually are failing now, left and right.
I think that's one of the reasons why they're trying to cause so much chaos and kill us off as quickly as they can.
Look at TV. I don't watch CNN and that crap, And if you're smart, you don't watch that.
Right.
All these destruction, murder, mayhem, numbers, quotes, and drama.
Right.
And I do not operate from that. Nor do I propagate that. Nor do I run to any of their demonstrations where I risk that getting beat or shot at,
Well, I kind of, what I do is I see a lot of activists that are out there and they're angry and they want to change the world. So I kind of put myself in a light warrior position to where I want to make sure that while they're in that state of consciousness, it's my obligation to say, hey, look, there's another way out, which is love vibration and non-compliance. So, I mean, I don't watch CNN myself or any really, I don't watch a lot of news, but I kind of feed off of the energy of putting myself into the position to open the door for the people that are, lost, if you will. So, that's just how I feel.
Yeah. Basically, give them a direction to say, well, understand, let's go to the people that are really, on a very, 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 let's say, lower dimensional level. All they have is their job. They complain about their marriage. Maybe they cheat. They watch the TV, and I said, okay, now you have an opportunity to understand, or better yet, overstand, that you can get out of negative programming. Because let's say if you have a coach, you don't want the coach to tell you how weak you are and how the opponents play better games.
Mm-hmm.
You need a coach. That's what we do. That's what you and I do. Is Tell the people like, hey, look at the skills that you have. Look at all of the things and the blessings that you have. Understand that every breath that's living in your vessel is a gift, because nothing is guaranteed. You are allowed on this planet. You are allowed this experience. And it's the same thing for those beings that have to heal draconian streams. All the races got the same chance, fallen one and those that never fell, to make a choice for the better, to create something positive and creative in terms of the law of the one, or what the source code is. And that means the free will planet was like, I can slaughter you, plunder your village, rape the women, do what I want to do because I got free will. Now we have to understand there's a difference between free will and divine will. And we have to propagate now what's divine will telling you. Even if you go out, go out to the store, let's say some dude is in New York, have a bad day, nothing works, he wants to buy some food, screams at the guy, almost tilts the counter, the food hit the street. Well, if you now put that in reverse and say, well, have a positive day, have an affirmation that you want to create a positive day, you feel really good, you meet the guy at the counter where he sells food, and he gives you, I don't know, oranges, lemons, and stuff for free because he's had such a good day, you're such a good customer, and everything works for you. You meet somebody that you really like, everything is positive, you share positive energy, people smile, you create a smile, and you emanate this frequency, you're producing it. So it's our responsibility to actively get in gear, participate in the universe, and for the complainers, it's the same thing as in for the spiritual dudes that live in theory, that sit on the mountain and say kumbaya and all is love. Not all is love. You got to be realistic. Face reality for what it is, and what are you doing realistically to bring it back to that you feel good, people around you feel good, nobody's forced to do anything, love and happiness can be created, but not like I'm Jesus running around in all his love and people rob you and treat you like shit and you think it's the way of God. No, don't be stupid.
Absolutely. I agree.
Don't be a Jedi Knight.
Right.
But be aware and be wakeful and have awareness and propagate, and trust me, it'll stop negativity.
Now, Arcturus.
www.ra-key.com.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I basically distribute photonic devices to activate your light body and activate the consciousness within, which have physical effects. Again, I'm not dealing with etheric theory. I have physical proof, physical data that stuff works. And I do readings, activations, which I call galactivations, where I want people to understand what is it that they're going through, what is the subconsciousness running for subroutines, and heal that. So I'm not doing tarot readings, I'm actually doing a cosmic profiling and reflect back to what they're telling me what they are, what they can't look at, to get people in gear, and I give them homework, so they are actively taking their rightful place, rites of passage, and wake up and smell the coffee.
Well said, my friend. And I think one thing that gets me though is a lot of people say, well, everyone's on their own path and you can't wake up the world and you should just let people run their own course. I think that's BS. It's bullshit because...
Yeah, that is BS. I agree with you totally. But you set an example with many, many more that you're doing something different and it works. Others will wake up to the fact that it does that.
Right, because that's like if you live in a village and you have someone that poisons the water in the village, you don't say, well, I'm not going to get involved because everyone else is running their own course. You say, hey, look, this asshole just poisoned the river. You have to.
Or you're in that village that has a little bit of sickness,
right,
where people run their own path, and you, let's say, we call that potluck, you give a platform where beings meet that you facilitate, that you keep clean. And you show them that you want it clean and you want peace. And if they want to come to the playground and play, they have to be nice. They have to embody that. And when they understand that, they go out and start creating this thing because they understand if I act like a S-stick, pardon my French, that I can't play with them over here where the party is, where the abundance is,
Right.
You need a lot of money to create that. And all people and communities have the responsibility to step up and do that. That's what I'm working on. by next year, that, you know, I see myself as like, what is it that I want to do, that I want to see, where I want to see people meet, and it's like, get up and do it. If you ask for it, and if you complain, why don't you facilitate it, and why don't you lead by example? And that's the mission, you know, and I do that with passion.
Right, and that's the only way to go. And I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of light workers and all that are going to watch this. It's really, you know, good to kind of have two perspectives of it. Like, you can't just say love is key, love is key, love is key, without saying, okay, well, someone else is a little behind, so let me at least give them the opportunity to see the way. And I think that you know, I think that's really not talked about in a lot of light workers. Like, they don't want to see that.
In a lot of esoteric groups, we tend to blow them up. We got to get out of theory. It's like, it's nice to theorize about that one day you're going to buy this or that or that. But what is your active planetary service that you're doing in acquiring that?
Right.
And a lot of people just sit there and they dream, and they keep repeating their dream, and they watch all of these positive affirmation videos like The Secret, and they can't attract what they need. Because here's the thing. You have to embody that. You have to feel that and connect with that, and then purposefully do that. You cannot, let's say, like, if I would say tomorrow I want a Maserati, you know, is that my purpose? Do I really need that? Is that really needed for my soul essence? Not really. So acquiring that is a little bit of nonsense. So we got to work with the laws and physics from the old paradigm, shifting into a new paradigm as we are creating that, understanding that, and then start participating in actively bringing that in, and not sitting on our ass, waving the magic wand, and hoping something would move when nothing moves.
Hoping that ETs are going to come and save you and bring love to you, and it's not. It has to happen individually.
You know, people like, when they say there's going to be an invasion and all of these ships, the ships are here. We are dimensionally blind. That's why we don't see them. It's nothing.
You know what I'm going to ask you real quick? I'm sorry I'm cutting you off. But this is something I forgot to ask you. What do you think about this Nibiru situation?
Oh, Nibiru gets passed. A lot of people repeat past timelines. Nibiru came and went. It's not going to be back anytime soon.
So why is everyone freaking out? Are they just fear mongers? What does everyone keep talking about Planet X for?
It's they want to put an unknown factor in there to get you off path, you know?
Right.
Does that help you right now to have something unknown?
Right. So it's kind of like what...
You know, look at all these predictions. I looked at it from 2000 to 2012. All of this stuff didn't take place. And I look at really what's in the heavens, what's moving, and what has a direct impact right now. And an object that is, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of miles away from Earth that they claim is on the way to Earth, puts everybody in a state of fear. So I'm like, what does that do for us?
That creates that reality, I'm guessing. That would actually create that reality.
I believe Nibiru is somewhere out there, far away from Earth. On a quantum level, it can transmit even coded signals to Earth to people that have been worked on a workstation Nibiru, but there have been many workstations. Like, I know that my soul works on a workstation that's called the Arcturus Midway Station.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ship that's almost as big as a planetary system, like a mothership, like what they call the mothership.
Right.
Same thing with what they call the Star of Bethlehem. The Bethlehem is a ship. A lot of people don't even understand the cosmic politics that are around the planet.
So is there a real Galactic Federation of Light or no? Some kind of like a Star Wars type of deal?
Oh yes, many of us on Earth are part of the Galactic Federation. People need to stop pointing fingers into the etherical force that's out there. So I'm concerned. I'm part of Galactic Fed, and I'm Arcturian Command, and I'm recording the events that take place and report back basically to upstairs. So many of us, when we go to sleep at night, we wake up on a ship. We have two shifts. And there's an interview that I can recommend from a lady. It's called Human by Day, ET by Night. But she explains she's fully aware that every night she goes to sleep, she ejects and she's on the ship, and she reports what she witnesses on Earth, politics, TV, everything, and then goes back to the body. And that's being basically weighed against the human consciousness. Are we messing up? or we are acting nice. This is a fishbowl. Like everything is being watched, everything is being monitored. All I can say to people, do your best to develop awareness. Don't be on autopilot. Don't run everyday routines. Nothing is a routine. When you're wakeful, you see these things.
Right.
You in the stick, you know.
So has there ever been didn't the Galactic Federation come to be because of this big war with the reptilian race? Or is that not?
The Galactic Federation has millions of beings in human form and a ground crew that are on Earth. And what they do is they're in constant contact with these conduits, connecting back and forth. So it's not so this federation out there, and then some people say, oh, it's all fake and this and that. Nah, what our family members, our brothers and sisters have in mind is our development and our conscious evolution to the best of our interest. And there are a lot of people that are really too dumb to get it. Like a monkey that is threatened by a human, so it kills the human, because it doesn't understand that. And some of these beings still run that, whether it's reptilian or ancient Atlantean. And we got to stop looping that because it's a time trap, you know. Then we're going to build another Atlantis and the ship's going to sink again because we are too stupid to understand we need to change the negative loop routines because that is actually the insanity that the human race is caught in.
So on a closing note, Ra, is there anything you want to say to people out there that live in fear, people out there that live in light? Any closing comments?
Yes, closing comment is fear is an acronym. Fabricated evidence appearing real. If you sit at home and you're paranoid, ask yourself, why are you paranoid? Why are you having anxiety right now? You're safe. Nothing will happen to you. You create reality. If you want to jump into a volcano and kill yourself, then you're creating that. If you want to run into a war zone and put your body at risk, you can do that. That's your choice. But if you're right now in a safe space, why do you go for conspiracy theories that install fear into you? I don't believe in fear installments, and nor should the public and the humans on planet Earth do not believe in fear installments. Whether it's FEMA camps or government shutdowns or presidential campaigns or all the stuff, right now they're throwing everything they can at you to see where you're weak. And you got to be strong and get up and say, I'm tired of being in fear. I have a right to live in bliss and not to be in fear.
Exactly.
That's what I have to say.
And that's a good point, and that's what a lot of quote unquote light bringers have to do is let people know this. Not just sit on your damn computer saying I'm a light and love bringer. Actually get out and interact with people because they're the ones that are being bombarded with this fear energy. Ross, thank you so much, my friend, for the interview.